At last, these people, they've captured the Holy Mother Church. They've captured the Holy Mother Church, and we can do little or nothing if not, keep pressing on this issue, keep talking about it, keep trying to hold the Holy Father accountable. Now, a few days ago, Father James Martin, the Jesuit priest from the United States of America, went to visit Pope Francis to talk about LGBTQ rights. And from the out from the feedback he gave from the meeting, he maintained the stance that Pope Francis was continuing the legacy of Pope Leo rather was continuing the legacy of Pope Francis, which includes inclusiveness, welcoming, and everything about the LGBT community. But this is the problem because the sin against nature is being celebrated in the Vatican now. So, 2 days ago, the Vatican celebrated a pilgrimage welcoming the LGBTQ community. Over 1,000 rainbow flying people actually came to the Vatican to celebrate Mass and everything. Now we ask ourselves, there was no sense of secret throughout this ceremony. People were carrying rainbow flags and rainbow crosses into the holy door, into St. Peter's Basilica. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know how we have gotten to this extent of degeneracy and everything. And I don't know why. I'm sorry, I was the one of giving Pope Leo the benefit of doubt here when he ascended to the papacy, saying that even though there is a relationship, a close relationship between him and Francis, and in the earlier days of his papacy, he hasn't shown the sign of trying to kowtow to this woke mob of trying to come back to the LGBTQ community, the inclusiveness and everything. These are the tactics they come with. But of recent, he has switched on and he's continuing the legacy of Francis. And I will argue he might be worse than Francis. It's a problem. Pay attention to the kind of words they use: inclusivity, compassion, love is love. They use these words to guilt trip and manipulate and gaslight. Because this same inclusivity is the same inclusivity that is making ruining Britain today, same inclusivity that is ruining the United States. According to this is a sin against nature. Homosexuality God literally in the Old Testament literally destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of this sin. So there's no way I'm going to guilt trip us. Now, I understand trying to, since that we're all children of God, trying to bring them closer and see if we can convert. But what is happening in the Vatican today is not trying to bring them closer and trying to find a way to get rid of this ideology in their head. No, what happened was basically the Pride movement or the Pride Day of Vatican. The only thing that did not happen was people making out in the St. Peter's Basilica. There were pictures of people dressing demonic insignias and people cozying up, men cozying up with each other and being in intimate positions all across St. Peter's Basilica. And you're coming to tell us that this is just somehow love is love and everything. This Father James Martin has been a strong advocate of this LGBTQ community. And I argue this is just heresy coming to the Catholic Church. Now, a very, very prominent journalist, Diane Montagna, that reports on the Vatican, actually made a tweet saying about what she observed of what happened and the degeneracy that happened in the Vatican. So I want us to, read the tweet and then we'll get a sense of what she's saying. She said, "This could have been prevented, but nobody cared. Last Wednesday, I asked the Vatican spokesman, Matteo Bruni, what the Vatican's policy for the tender the Giornata LGBTQ plus pilgrimage would be regarding carrying rainbow stroke LGBTQ plus flags and banners, t-shirts and other means of messaging. Noting that the story could potentially dominate the news cycle rather than the colonizations, he said he would check into it, but in the end, he didn't reply, despite several follow-ups. Obviously, there's people high up that are actually, calling the shots here. Last Friday morning, I called the Vatican's Dicastery for Evangelization, which organizes the Jubilee, with the same question. The person who responded said, yes, there shouldn't be any problem with this, but wanted to confirm it with the superior. He returned our call, saying that no flags or banners etc. would be allowed. Only the official Jubilee cross would be permitted, both on the Via della Congregazione and going through the Holy Door, also for security reasons. So when she actually inquired, they told her that these banners and all these things will not be displayed. But the opposite is what happened. We can all acclaim to that. On Saturday, I went to the event and asked the tender Giornata organizers if flags, banners, crosses were allowed. He said no, An official from the Dicastery of Evangelization was present in the Piazza Pia, where the pilgrimages began. He didn't seem to take kindly to me asking questions why the rainbow cross was being carried. You see, if these people came with humility, not championing and parading their moral and sexual deviance all over the place, I would have understood that we're all children of God. We're all going to be saved one day by God, especially as a Christian and as a Catholic. But they came flagging the LGBTQ flag everywhere. The same thing they do during Pride Parade. According to the church, Pride is one of the biggest seven, among the seven cardinal sins. Pride is the biggest one. So it's a problem when these people parade this kind of thing in St. Peter's Basilica and St. Peter's Square. This is the seat of the Catholic Church. I still want to tell me the Catholic Church is not being captured by now by this woke mob. And now, after the Holy Father still appointed Christina Parella, a known pro-LGBTQ artist that has displayed obscenities. One of them is being a nude guy, urinating on that nude guy, as the director for the Vatican Center of Arts. It doesn't make any sense. The Vatican Center for Fine Arts is being, managed and being directed by this pro-LGBTQ artist. Who knows how the art will look like in the Catholic Church? And now they use phrases in the Bible, just like 1 John chapter 4, verse 18, that says, "No fear in love." No fear in love is the love between man and a woman. And why I keep saying this thing is that I know how this pro-LGBTQ or LGBTQ mob acts. If you give them an each, they take a man. From telling us we want to be included and everything, they'll start looking for a way to be given the sacrament of matrimony in the Catholic Church. They will start looking for a way to be given the sacrament of matrimony. And this is not what we want in the Catholic Church. So I don't know why the Holy Father is being very quiet about this thing. And I want more bishops, more Catholics, more priests to criticize what is happening. Because this is obscene. This is sacrilege. There was no sense of sacred. Profanities were exhibited in the Holy Roman Catholic Church, the seat of the Holy Roman Catholic Church, which is St. Peter's Basilica. And people are being quiet about it. And, I was skeptical at first because they made an American pope, and I was like, okay, let's just see. From the first time he spoke about the border, about Donald Trump, that was when I became very, very skeptical about Pope Leo. Yes, I was ready to give him the benefit of that, but his silence is telling. His silence is an indictment to what he thinks ideologically about the LGBTQ stuff in the Catholic Church. So I'm just so tired of people sitting on the fence. Is either yes or no? It's black and white. Does the church accept homosexuality? Yes or no? And Pope Leo should come out and complain about this thing. But him trying to hide under the cloak of inclusivity, and then we are seeing the moral decay of the Holy Mother Church, is not acceptable. That's all I'm going to say about that. I might be wrong. Give me your take in the comment section. Just be respectful about it. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things. I love you. God loves you more.